All right, welcome into this week at Gridiron Icon, and
Yeah.
we have a special guest this week. Our guest this week defines the term speed kills and was not only a Los Angeles Ram, he was also a Los Angeles Raider. We won't hold that against him, but he ran the second leg of the 4x100 meters relay team that won the gold medal and set the world record in the famous 1984 Summer Olympics in LA with a time of 37 seconds. It's ridiculous. He was the second pick of the Cleveland Browns in 83, but we only count when he went to the Los Angeles Rams where he became an All-Pro and Pro Bowler. Our most famous number 89 and another wide receiver joining my co-host, Preston Denard, the iconic Ron Brown. Welcome in.
Hey. We got time. Look at the audience.
Crowd goes wild.
That crowd does go wild.
That
man.
crowd go crazy.
Crowd goes wild. Well, listen, we'll get this out of the way early. I do not belong in this wide receiver room. There's something terribly wrong here, including my 4740. It is a pleasure to be with my co-host, Preston. How are you, my friend?
My friend, hey, in my normal attire and presenting the new hat, and this one happens to be one you're not real excited about it, but I just like the decor. Okay, let me turn the head a little bit. This is an old hat.
Is that a Buffalo Bill?
That's a buffalo. You can call it a bill if you want. It looks like a bill. Oh yeah, I was there a year.
Yeah.
You went to Buffalo too, Preston?
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know you was in Buffalo.
Man, I led the team in receptions and touchdowns in
I
'84.
mean,
Wherever you go. That's
Well, no, but yeah, I played for Buffalo. Matter of fact, there's so much connecting us that Andre Reed, I had to give my jersey up to Andre Reed, then they shipped me off to Green Bay.
There you go.
Andre wants to contribute his success to me giving him that jersey. So I just thought I'd throw that out.
I saw Andre too, though. He did tell me a little bit about that. He said thank you. He told me to say thank you.
Oh, he tell me every time he see me. But the Ron Brown that I know a whole bunch about. So I know we were just talking about all those Sun Devil receivers. I can name every one of them if I'm challenged enough. Wow. And Ron happened to be one of them. But Stacy, this is how you fall back into the fold. Two boys from Baldwin Park. Is that the truth?
Truth. 1967, Baldwin Park Hospital, my friend.
Is that right?
Yeah,
that's where they found
true story.
Wow.
That's as close as I get to anything that resembles Ron Brown ever, other than being a Rams fan. But Baldwin Park, you got to take us back, Ron, and tell us how you got involved with sports as a kid. Was it always football? Was it basketball, baseball? I mean, the responses on the show are incredible to learn the different sports. What about you?
You know, back in the day, we used to play all the sports depending on the season. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I did go to Baldwin Park High School, but also went to Morningside High School. Byron Scott and I grew up together.
Yep.
What?
Yeah, B. Scott. So we used to play basketball and basketball season in everybody's backyard. Then we used to play, because our streets was 3rd Avenue, 4th Avenue. I lived on 3rd Avenue. Byron lived on 7th Avenue. So we used to play the avenues against each other. But, you know, that was back in the day. We used to have a lot of fun, though, man. We had a ball out there.
Could you hit the jumper like Byron?
No, I couldn't do it like B. Scott. He get in that corner. He dangerous in that corner.
Ooh, he was so good. Number 4. Yeah.
Yes.
Ron, I know you had to have done this. We did this. I guess I was that guy in the neighborhood with all the young kids, but you had to have done this at least once in your youth. And that is run a relay blocks long around the neighborhood. Did you do that with your buddies?
No, we didn't do the whole block. We would do pole to pole.
No, we did
the light pole.
We did the whole block. We had people stationed. You didn't do that, huh?
No. But what city was this in? You could do the whole block.
Hey, 2022 East Burgess Lane, South Phoenix, off of Southern and 20th Street in the hood. Run around the corner. Everybody had like 5 people, and we racing.
Oh wow, that's interesting. We never even thought about that.
Oh,
you guys were way ahead of. But let me tell you, I know when you didn't do it. It's in the summer when it was 120.
That's when we did it. That's when I used to train at 12 noon in July, 115 degrees. Run a mile and a half on Southern. Come back. This ain't about me. Well, I want to hear about your running.
So I went ahead and I bought me a house in Chandler. right?
Oh, okay.
But I would get up at 6 o'clock to beat the heat and go to the track.
Right.
And then at 12 o'clock, I was in the weight room. And then at 6 o'clock, I was back on the track. So I try to miss that sun, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Everybody does that. Everybody does that.
Yeah.
Well, tell us about it, man. How you became this decorated athlete, that the whole journey, and as Stacy was saying, you know, the sports that you guys played. So it was seasonal. Everything that came in, you played. But somewhere, speed became very bold and big in your life. And then I guess football just went hand in hand, running track, playing football. Tell us the story.
It did. So it was actually my senior year in high school, and I ran a 9.4, and at the time it was just me, a guy named Sanford, and a guy named Green. Both Sanford and Green both went to USC, and then I ended up going to Arizona State. But that was my time for the sprints. That was that little time where I said, you know what, I might have a little speed here that I could take to football. A lot of coaches started looking at me too, though, because you know that went back. You know how they talk about speed in football, how you can't coach speed. You know, we coach to do everything else, but we can't coach that. So that was a blessing for me.
Wow, outstanding.
Unreal. Was taking us back to your childhood in good old Baldwin Park and beyond. By the way, we got another 9 degrees of separation because I moved to Northern California as a teenager, and I know you moved to Northern California. It's really weird, but
yeah, I went to Northgate. We were talking about that the other day. I talked to some people in North. I had ran for like 325 yards in one game. That record still stands out there. I was running back in high school.
Good grief. Okay, so we got football, we got hoops with Byron Scott. We've got track. You won a gold medal. This is starting to get to be a crowded award shelf here. What other sports did you play? You were running back, but what other did you play baseball? Or
I did play baseball.
Yeah,
actually, baseball was my game.
See,
Tommy and I used to talk about that all the time though, because I was going to play for the Dodgers. So Byron Scott and I. So Byron, if I was pitching, Byron played shortstop. If Byron was pitching, I would play shortstop on the way up. You know, and then we came up with the Eric Davis and the Strawberries. We're all the same age. We're all around that time though. But no girls went to the baseball games.
Came down to the ladies.
Football games. So I was like, hey man, we have to put this baseball on the shelf for a minute. But then when Bonds came to Arizona State. I used to go over there because the track and the baseball field was right next to each other. So we used to have a lot of fun with that though. But baseball, if I would have known what I know now, I would have stayed with baseball. I could have still been playing, Preston. You know, them dudes 50, 60 years old, don't they?
Oh yeah. As a matter of fact, Ron, you'd be amazed. And Stacey and I were kind of trying to calculate this, but I think we're up to about 97% of every guest that's come to the show. Their first sport and the one they loved was baseball. And some of us played longer, others played, you know, just youth, but everybody has come on except for one or two guys didn't play baseball.
Yeah.
They all played.
Such a mind blower to me, Mr. 388 over here, my co-host. That batting average. We've talked about it.
You play baseball too, Preston?
Oh, you don't know me well, my friend. He's going to make me have to break it up.
Pull it out. Pull it out.
Hold on, Mr. Brown. There you go. You see it? Oh, what's that say? Whoa, 388, baby. That's my senior in high school.
What?
Ron, you need to see my pod. You need to see the interview Stacy did on me when I talk about how I was almost drafted. And my dad said, he's going to college.
Wow.
It's an incredible arc. Yeah, it's amazing. So Ron, okay, first of all, I think everybody listening is blown away at who all your friends were as kids. Most of us don't have a bunch of world champions in 5 sports as buddies. So, I mean, that's amazing. How in the world does a guy as decorated as you and with this peer group, how did you get away? How did you end up at Arizona State? Take us through the recruiting and mom and dad and that whole piece. How did that happen?
Well, I was easily distracted. So I knew that I needed to get away from my buddies that weren't going to college. You know what I mean? Because it would have been a whole lot of more days that I didn't go to class. So I said, well, let me get in Arizona State. When I went on campus and I looked up in the stands and I saw that big old stadium, I said, yeah, this is home. You know, you just get that gut feeling like, yeah, this is going to work. And
Unbelievable.
I went there because of Coach Cush.
Oh,
I
Frank
almost
Kush.
left there because of Coach Cush. we lost against the Bears, Cal State, Berkeley, and the fourth quarter, because we were already down. Guys just kind of like kept looking at the clock, waiting for the clock to end the game. It was being beat like 37-7 or something. Man, Sunday. I don't even think we watched films. He ran us till like 1 o'clock in the morning. And I remember saying to myself, if we run one more sprint, I'm going to San Diego State. Because I was like, guys was passing out, throwing up. And then he called us in like it was over and then said, now we're not going to ever quit again. He said, right. He said, now get back out there and line up and let's go again. Man, we ran till like 1 o'clock in the morning, man.
That's Kush. That's
we won
Kush.
the next 7 games, though.
Well, okay. Yeah, he had some reasoning behind it, and thank God he didn't make you run down that highway. I think it's 87 coming from Camp Tonazano.
Oh, Camp Tonazano.
Because he did that to the old school boys.
Yeah, but when I got there, though, he was under kind of that investigation thing, so he had to play a little nice with us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I heard some stories.
Oh yeah, there's some stories. There's some stories.
How do guys, in all seriousness, how do guys like you two deal with this whole new dynamic known as transfer portal? Oh. I mean, yeah, when I listen to these stories, it's like, God, I don't think kids would even gut it out like that now. I think they'd be, I'm out of here. I'm going to be a San Diego State Aztec. See ya.
Yeah,
that pandemic kind of set this tone, though. It's making it real tough for high school kids to find a place to go, though. You know, I've been finding like a lot of high school kids that they get kind of like lost in the cracks because some of the kids transfer over that they didn't know they was going to transfer over. Some kids stay back, you know what I mean? So the kids coming up, it's like it's hard to for them to find a home. Some of these school campuses.
God, it's changed a lot, hasn't it? Okay, so we've got to add, before we jump into your pro experience in the Olympics and all that, little known fact, I got to admit, I didn't know it, and I watched you every Sunday along with my co-host back in the day. You started out as a defensive back? Like you were a DB and made the switch to wide receiver?
I was a running back.
Okay.
In college, they moved me to defensive back. So I played a defensive back in college. In the last year, we didn't have any receivers, so they moved me to receiver my last year. Then I was drafted as a receiver.
Wow.
Right.
But Al Davis actually called me on draft day. The Raiders did. You know, because that draft day, boy, Preston, was that one of them kind of butterfly days for you too?
Well, it was definitely butterflies and probably a whole bunch of other flies at the end of it because I didn't get drafted. So, but it was butterflies. Ron, you would not have liked this. In a room of 12 guys from 4 different universities, 3 of us don't get drafted, and we're all from the University of New Mexico. One of us leads the nation for 2 years out of 4 years. The other one leads the conference in tackles, but we don't get drafted. So those are the butterflies. Yeah. We were sitting there through the whole thing.
Oh, wow. Preston.
But yours was like, tell us about yours. What was that experience?
Yeah.
Because you actually got drafted.
Listen, mine was because draft day, we just kind of everybody was like in front of the screen, looking at the phone, making sure nobody called, waiting for the phone to ring. You know, they said, okay, you might go in the 3rd round or maybe in the 5th round. You know, they have all these predictions and stuff, but nobody really knows. You don't know what team is going to pick you. Mm-hmm. But then when I got the call, the Raiders called me, and Al was like, Ronnie, you going to run track or do you play football? I said, I want to play football, Al. And then he said, okay, we have the next pick. We're going to get you. But Cleveland had the next pick. So when Cleveland went up, now when I hung up with Al, they called me. And they said, we're going to take you. And they asked me the same questions. So that was that time. So I was like, because, that's a dream come true, to be able to go to the Olympics and stuff, like hitting the lottery and stuff. So that was good for me. But then the following week, we had the Bruce Jenner Classic. And I beat Carl Lewis. So now my stock goes up.
Good grief.
Because now I'm the fastest man in the world because I beat the fastest man in the world. So my stock goes up. So now the game changes.
Ooh, is that how that changed for you?
That's how the game changed, yes.
Oh, wow. So you had a race against Carl Lewis, beat him, and this whole I'm going to play football thing kind of started to get into second place.
Yeah, because of the Olympics. You know what I mean? Because this was in 83. The Olympics was in 84, and you had to keep your status back then. You had to keep your amateur status in order to go to the you couldn't participate in the Olympics because it's an amateur sport. So I couldn't sign an NFL professional contract because of that.
Ooh.
Okay.
Very interesting detail.
Okay. So
very
drafted,
interesting.
And then, got it.
Wow.
So you take us on this journey about the Olympics. It's your dream come true sport. It's the thing you wanted. It's here now. Then you got to give up the lesser of the two evils because you want the big puppy, and you can put that on the back burner, something you can go back to. Probably didn't think about it then, but you could always go back to it. What was that thought process at that time?
Well, the thought process was different because they had kept offering me more and more money. So it got to the millions and stuff. And, you got a kid coming out of college, on a $600 a month stipend. Somebody's trying to give you millions of dollars. It's like, do I want to gamble on this Olympic thing that's in front of me? Because it's not just because I said, well, I know I want to represent my country in the Olympics, don't mean I'm going to make the team. And that didn't hit me to the Olympic trials. I'm telling you, I got out of my blocks and I took my last rundown, and I'm coming back to my blocks, and I looked, and everybody who was somebody was in that race, and they only taking 3.
Oh,
I said, dang, it's coming down to 10 seconds for me right now. Yeah. All that hoopla going all the way to the Olympics, this hometown kids gonna go represent this country in the Olympics, coming down to 10 seconds. Different 10 seconds, Preston.
That's a tall order, baby.
Man. Yeah.
Wow.
But as God would have it, it worked out for me, and here we are.
Okay, so tell the average fan, there's a moment like that we have several times in our lives as athletes. And when you get to the higher level, it gets really intense. So tell everybody about the competitive spirit now in you. What do I do? Do I do it? Now it's a 10 second. Take us beyond that now. How did you truly get convicted?
Well, I actually had to stand up in my blocks, because typically when I get in my blocks, in my mind, I'm thinking, I don't have to beat them, they have to beat me. So I always get there thinking I'm the fastest man on this track. And I close my eyes and picture myself where I'm not. So I see myself winning this race. Times I didn't do it, but I never got away from that platform. But then when I got back in the blocks and everybody was running, takes your marks and stuff, and you can't jump, I had to stand up because I had said I'd get my mind back right. I had to get my mindset to okay, wait a minute now. Now's the time to put your best race together. You beat everybody in this field before. Now's the time to do it again. So that's what it came down to for me.
Wow. How old are you right at that point, Ron? You're like 21?
Yeah, 21, 22.
Yeah. Wow. Man, 21 years old on the world's biggest stage. Okay. So you win a gold medal. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, so the gold medal was everything, but actually the setting the world record was what we were going for. We knew we had enough leg speed to beat everybody on the track, Canada, everybody there, but we didn't know if we could get that world record. So when I gave the baton off to Calvin Smith, because he ran third leg, and at the time he was one of the first guys to go under sub 10. So he had been one of the fastest men in the world. And all of us had graduated in 79 except Sam Grady. He was the only one. Other than that, Calvin Smith and Carl Lewis and I have been competing against each other all through high school.
That is wild.
Yeah, so it came down to that though. But I'm gonna tell you that Calvin Smith straightened that curve out. I've never seen nobody run no curve that fast.
Oh,
that's an iconic memory for those of us the 84 Olympics. They're some of the most famous Olympics ever. The Summer Olympics of '84. I remember that race, man. That is incredible. You guys have been growing up racing each other.
Yeah, it was good.
Wow. Throw a name out at you.
Yes, sir.
Dwayne Evans.
Ooh, that was my guy.
Really?
Oh, Dwayne, we used to compete we had the fastest. When the Sun Devils used to show up to track meets, you could hear everybody talking. Oh, the Sun Devils are here. Oh, they here. I used to like that feeling too, Preston, because I had, Lamont King. I had Dwayne Evans. He was in the Olympics at 17 years old, running that 200. We had a team. Nick Moore. So we would get up there on a relay team, and we'd go against anybody. USC, it didn't matter. We was ready to go.
They had the team. Dwayne Evans from South Phoenix. He went to South Mountain High School. Was a tremendous athlete. He didn't do anything else but just run.
Yeah.
That's what he did, is run. So y'all had a hell of a team.
Well.
I did it well. All right. So
unbelievable.
These Olympic Games are just, I mean, they're huge in everybody's eyes. They're all watching. But here's the key for you, I think. It's in your backyard. That had to be totally something that nobody else could grasp, except for one or two that are from LA. But how about you? What was that like? You had everybody on that bandwagon, right?
Yeah. No, a dream come true. And then the next day I'm in practice, I'm in camp. The next day, after the relay, I'm in camp catching balls. You know what I mean? Still in LA.
Still in LA. Okay, so here's the part. Here's where I come in, Stacy. I told you there's a little connection that Ron may not know, but I think he knows. So in '84, John Robinson was the coach. He was there in '83. That was my 6th year. John Robinson says, I need speed. I like you, Preston, but I need some speed. And the only speed that was available is sitting in LA on TV all day and all night long. And he goes and get Ron Brown. And I just laugh because John has no idea what the relationship is, because he played ball with my brother. They all know each other. Aaron, they're all buds and all that. And I've seen them all kind of play growing up in the game. And Ron comes to the Rams, and I have to leave for him. You know what? That's getting old. I had to leave for Andre Reed. Wow. I had to leave for Ron Brown. Daggone it. But no, Ron, I don't think you knew that.
Leave some room for your boy, man. Thank you, man, for leaving some room for your boy.
Oh, there was plenty of room. Man.
He was looking out for you.
Yeah, just looking out for me, man. Thank you.
Oh, man. That's so cool.
Crazy.
Okay. Now you're coming into the NFL. The Olympic Games is what you thought it was. It even could have been greater, but, I mean, you can't beat the success you guys had. And now the NFL. I want to know, how did it get to the Rams? How'd you get to the Rams? If originally the Raiders wanted you and now the Olympics is over, I figured Al will come get you.
The Browns had me, and they traded me to the Rams.
So they traded you to the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That seems wild for a second-round draft pick at that point. Who's killing it, winning
but
gold
he's an
medals.
Olympic champion.
I was a second-round draft pick, but I was the Cleveland Browns' first pick. They didn't have a first-round draft
pick.
Yes, I was their first pick in the second round. They didn't have a second round.
Even stranger.
I mean, they didn't have a first-round draft pick.
Wow. I should have looked this up. But what'd they trade you for?
Oh, I don't know. Probably milk or something. I don't know. It's
a bag lunch and a bag of Fritos. Okay.
Yeah, plus an old man going out the door.
Listen, that was a heartbreaker because full disclosure, I was a big Preston Denard fan, so I remember all that, and I was like, oh. But then the Olympian comes in, and you're kind of like, oh, okay.
You're like, you know what?
Right. Because Preston's brother and I played together with the Sun Devils.
Yep.
So.
Yep. And you know what? I told John Robinson when I was on the way out the door. No, it was John Shaw. I said, John, you ever asked John why he didn't think about having me come off the bench? Because I'm 3rd and long. I'm 4th and long. I'll catch it and keep the drive going. Let the young boys run up and down the field. He kind of chuckled and laughed. And I went on to Buffalo.
A little chillier.
A little chillier, yeah.
Okay, as you might imagine, Rob, we got to ask all the obligatory Rams questions. No small disclosure. Been a Rams fan my whole life. But I look at that time period as such a glorious time in Rams history, and a lot we could talk about there. But you joined the Rams. You're traded from Cleveland. You've just won the gold. You're going to be a wide receiver, but you're also going to do special teams. And then eventually, towards the end of your career, you switch back to defensive back. It's crazy. What was it like joining those early 80s Rams teams, which, look, they're filled with legends on both sides of the ball.
It was a great time, though, because we had Dickerson in the background. We had Coach Robinson, so you didn't really need to be a receiver at that point. You just actually need to know how to block. You know what I mean?
Because
you did Preston a favor.
We're going to go Eric Dickerson left, Eric Dickerson right. We're going to run. That's going to be, 70% of our plays.
Mm-hmm.
That had to be. Wait a second. Okay, we got to ask. Did you ever race Eric Dickerson? Did you guys race?
Yeah, we did.
And
It
say
was
it.
fun. It was fun.
Leave that one alone. It's fun.
That is so PC of him. I love it.
I think we know what that means.
I think we do. And I love it because, look, Eric was the prettiest runner I've ever seen running a football.
Well, big man like that though.
Oh, he was so
straight up
big.
tall like that.
Yeah.
But look at his highlights though, and watch how we run into the end zone together. I made sure that we got into the end zone. We ran together in the end zone. I want to get into his photo.
And you looked great doing it. Okay, so you're going to play wide receiver at the NFL level. What was the challenges on that for you after being a DB, an Olympian? Now you're going to be. I mean, you've been a wide receiver throughout your life as a kid and whatnot, but ASU.
I think my challenge was I just never had a chance to learn the position, and I had to kind of learn on the go because I really. At that time, we had Henry Eller and a lot of other receivers that actually had a whole lot of catches and played all their life at wide receiver, whereas I didn't. You know what I mean? So I never really got comfortable playing that position for some reason. It just never clicked to where, my route running was good because that was one of my good things. So and my hands was good too, though. But I just never got comfortable in the position towards the end. Yeah.
Do you think, when I look at a guy like you, and this is just bold, dumb fan guy comment here, but do you kind of think you were before your time? Like, imagine you in your prime in today's game. Like, you've got all these, they call them gadget players, right? Your Tyreek Hills, your Deebo Samuels. Could you see yourself in today's game having a different role as opposed to blocking for Eric Dickerson in the 80s?
No, because now they throw the ball like 70-80% of the time. Where we ran the ball 70-80%. That's why I told Dickerson his record's gonna stand. There's not gonna be. They don't run the ball like that anymore. Yeah. So that would have been a lot more. That would have been a lot of fun though. We had some good times, man. I just do like that. We had some great times out there.
You know what you were talking about the aspects of playing wide receiver and all the techniques and all that. You of all people know how critical that is because you just express what more desire you would have wanted to have and some of those traits and skills and working on them and being at the top of the game to see how can you play that game with that kind of input. But it's tough and it's critical. If you were telling young people out there today who just heard that and they say, well, he played at the big leagues, he played wide receiver and DB, and he didn't think he was good enough to play wide receiver. No, that's not what he said. It's really about all the skill set, the techniques, the drills, the workout, the training is what makes you. And that's what I think young people ought to hear. Is that the message you're trying to get across to folks who are trying to play a sport, play a position?
Yeah, no, that's exactly right, though, man. You have to put those hours in. You have to put that work in and that time in. Just to be good at something, you have to do it. What I mean? If you want to be great at it, it's double that.
What did you think you had to do in the offseason to improve? Like I know what from rookie year to my second year, I knew exactly what I needed to do to try to see some playing time. Did you have that relevance at all?
No, my workout was still consistent though. I mean? Other than just taking track out of it though. But we used to just try to catch as many balls from the ball machine as we could, try to run as many routes as we can, and just try to better your craft.
That's interesting. Mine was more on conditioning. I wanted to run all year. I wanted to be strong all year. I thought catching a football was second nature and all the other stuff, running routes. I mean, that was something if I got on the football field, I could do. But I just wanted to be strong through a 16-game schedule. And, of course, we were always in the playoffs, so you had to be strong. So my approach was a lot different. And I think if young people are listening to this podcast, they'll find out they got to reach in themselves and find out what do I need to improve and work on. That's what I would say. What would be your encouraging factor to a young kid growing up that wants to be a sprinter and also want to play wide receiver?
Yeah, no, that's the key. Just the hard work, like you say, Preston, making sure that you put the same kind of time in, because one thing I used to always think that somebody, if I'm going to get this position, somebody else is out there working right now when I'm thinking about watching TV. So I have to get out there and put more hours in and more time in.
Wow. Tell everybody about how it was like playing with Hop Sing, Henry Eller.
Hop Sing. Yeah, Hop, that was my dude, man.
Yeah.
Hop was fun. He was fun to watch too, though, man.
Oh, he was good. He was good. I was glad to take him under my wings our rookie year because I would just tell him, man, dude, just run. You're so smooth. Just run.
Yeah,
And he was good. You guys had a great group of receivers, though.
Yeah.
No, we had fun, man. We had a lot of fun though. When they broke up that core group, then I started to realize NFL was a business.
No.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really
When they
interesting.
broke up that core group, like we had, Drew Hill, we had George Farmer, Henry, myself, and then the following year, Aaron Cox and Flipper Anderson came in like that. But we had a nice solid group that we felt we would compete against each other in practice, and then we would take that competition to the game and just have fun out there, man. Yeah,
There you go.
It was good.
That's such good stuff. Okay, obligatory questions. Just two real quick, and then we want to hear about what you're doing today. Real quick, was there a guy that you just found very tough to play against, your toughest opponent? And then second, is there a moment in your NFL career that stands out among any others, whether it's the Rams or the Raiders? By the way, he played with Marcus Allen, Howie Long, some guy named Bo Jackson. Was there anything, toughest opponent, and then was there a moment or something that you could share with us that stood out?
That's a little tough question though, because those some great names that you mentioned though, because you're right. I had Eric Dickerson and Jackie Slater, all these Hall of Famers with the Rams, and then I get with the Raiders, and I got Bo Jackson and Marcus back there, and there was a lot of politics with that though, because Al treated Marcus a certain way, and Bo didn't even practice. You know what I mean? He hit a home run. He hit a home run on Saturday and come play with us on Sunday. And,
Crazy.
And scored 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
200 some yards, 18 carries. So that kid was amazing to watch, man. Yeah, he was a lot of fun to talk to too. And then Lyle Alzado was my guy. Lyle and I used to talk all the time.
Oh.
Kind of told me a little bit about his journey in football and stuff like that. How he was like, we talked about steroids a little bit. He was like, man, I have to take them because that's the only way I'm going to be able to compete with these young black country-fed kids coming out of the South. And I said,
Really?
right, goes, yeah, that's the only way I can stick around. They coming after my job. I have to take this to compete, But Lau was a good guy. It was fun to talk to.
Wow,
That's
is so
great.
cool.
God, those are iconic names. Now, was there a DB that drove you nuts on Sundays? A guy that was just tough to play against?
Nah.
Ah,
Nah.
I love it.
My mindset was, I know where I'm going. If you can beat me to where I'm going, then you need to be a magician or something. Because I can't understand how you're gonna be able to do that. I can't understand how DB could do that. You stand in front of me, I know where I'm going, and you got to beat me there? No.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Speed kills, baby. Speed kills. I love it. Well,
or a damn good move.
fair enough. Number 88.
Separation, Preston.
You got to get separation.
You got to get separation, man. You got to come back downhill too, though, to make sure the ball game's about angles and inches. You got to downhill, get a quarterback a chance.
I love it.
God, I could listen to this stuff all day with you too. Okay, you got to tell. Everyone wants to know. Since your pro career ended, the Olympics, all that good stuff, what are you doing today? Because I think this is a remarkable and inspiring story here.
Well, we're doing a lot of things right now, though. One of the main things we're getting started right now. We haven't quite launched it yet, though, but give us another couple of weeks and we'll have our podcast up. And the motivation behind the podcast, and my partner, Avante, she's a genius. She's amazing, too, though. So you'll look up Amazing. You'll see her name picture right next to it.
Okay.
So we start talking about, how can we help our communities? How can we help people, with these trying times we have right now, getting evicted and stuff like that. And doing some stuff with Karen Vass here, our mayor here, to kind of with the homeless piece like that, So we just trying to figure out another avenue to get back. And because I come from the music industry too, though, especially, with the Death Row thing with Suge and Snoop and all my guys in that social media space too, we feel that we can take that social media piece and then apply that to what we're doing with these podcasts and launch that and make a few dollars, $100 million and give away to people, man, so they can stay in their homes.
That's incredible.
That is. Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to steal Preston's thunder, but you can't go dropping Death Row on us there for those of us that don't know about that. What's the connection there, right?
What?
So Suge is a good friend of mine, and he was playing for the Rams at once. He came and tried out for the Rams for one time, too. So we were just at
I heard that.
we was in my living room one time. He was like, "Man, look, we're gonna start this record label. We're gonna grab Dr. Dre and DOC. We're gonna sell 1 million records, make $1 each. You know what I mean? That was our business plan. $300 million later, you know what I mean? It ended up being a success. A lot of good music came from that record label.
Oh, I actually met Suge Knight. I haven't even told Preston that. Totally by accident in Las Vegas one night.
Wow.
Yeah. Didn't
He's
know.
a good dude, though, right?
A good dude and a big dude. I felt like a midget next to him. Yeah.
And that's because he's very agile, too, though. So he's 315, right? But he runs like a 4.5.
What?
Yeah.
And he couldn't make it?
No. Yeah, he could run. His attitude, you know.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to tangle with him. Yeah. That's amazing. So today, aside from your podcast, you're also, again, just to emphasize this, you're doing a lot, particularly at a time when the country needs it. You're doing a lot for the homeless population down there in Southern California.
Doing a lot for retired players as well, though. So we have our program is called NFL Retired Players Congress, right? There is a Retired Players Congress program. It's funded by the NFL. We're licensed with the NFL to make apparel. So our proceeds go to players' care for health and wealth for former players. And the leader for that for us is Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones gave us the license for the Cowboys, which is a big percentage of our income. And he said, I want you to help the guys that before me. I want you to help all my Cowboy guys, but especially the ones before me. And I thought for Jerry Jones to put that statement out there like that is real big. You know what I mean? I like when the owners don't forget about the players before them, you know, because his players are Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, and Michael Irvin. So Tony Dorsett, Too Tall Jones, anyway, those aren't his guys, even though they're Cowboys and they're legends, you know, and Hall of Famers. You know, he was like, take the money. If my guys take care of them, make sure my guys, you know, don't want for anything. So I thought that was a big statement for the Cowboys and Jerry Jones. Thank you, Jerry.
That is huge because you don't know that about Jerry. You know, you hear everything else about him, and you just never hear those real wonderful stories like that are behind.
Yeah, he's a player's owner. You know what I mean? He takes care of his players. Yeah.
Okay, you heard it right here, folks.
God, I love that.
Different perspective.
How can fans support that effort, Ron? Is there a website or something?
Yeah. PlayersCongress.com, www.playerscongress.com, and just order some jackets from us.
Love it.
But you go to our website, you'll see both NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball. Our partner in that piece is JH Design. They've been in the jacket business now for 30 years. And then Fanatics.
Oh, okay. Fanatics. Okay.
And you also have, this is an organization that is for players, but it's also put together by former players too.
Yeah.
Kind of identify some of your guys that's involved with Congress.
Yeah, Bob Grant, who was in the first 2 Super Bowls ever and put the NFL. Yeah, played for the Baltimore Colts, outside linebacker. Who else do we have? We have Marvin, played for the Cincinnati Bengals. Yeah. We have a number of guys. The names are escaping me right now, though.
Joe Sweet, who was on our show.
Who is that?
That's Joe Sweet.
Joe Sweet is one of our guys. Yeah, absolutely.
And who else? Marv's involved, right?
Marv Flemings.
Marv Fleming.
Yeah, Green Bay Packers. A good person. You know better than me, man. Why you ask me? Go on the other day.
Okay, let me name those Sun Devil wide receivers. Almost Preston Denard. No.
Yeah, no, you know, but we welcome all the guys to come participate with us. So we welcome all the guys. You know, we're building websites for guys that can use that for use our platform to help raise money for their foundation or any other foundation they feel deemed.
Outstanding.
That's incredible at a time when there's not nearly enough emphasis on the past players. We've talked about a lot on this show with our guests, like, you know, there's some unpopular commentary around that, taking care of the guys who came before guys who were making, you know, $10 million a game. That didn't always exist, folks.
Yeah, no, it did. And it's still not a whole lot of guys that do that, though. But, yeah, you know, some teams are better than others. Some owners are better than others.
Yep, that's true. I do want to say thank you for something you did for me in the past. You know, I used to coach, before COVID, USA Track and Field Youth. And we would have an indoor Martin Luther King meet here at our indoor arena on a Mondo track. and a huge event collegiately and then also youth. And one year we brought Ron out. He was gracious enough to come out and be amongst the athletes and the kids. But Ron did one nice solid for me. He brought out a nice Raider jacket for a gentleman that puts on these events for the city, works for the city, and he's a huge Raider fan. Ron made his life worthwhile living by bringing it. So thank you. It's one of the jackets that they do.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. And anytime you need anything like that, just let me know. If you guys need some jackets for your show to give away the trivia question, just let me know. I'll get them to you.
Ooh,
So generous.
Stacy, I never asked, but you heard it. You heard
I
it.
heard him say it. It's immortalized now, and it will be on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Ring, ring, ring. Ron, we got our 38 guests.
Yeah.
We got to cross-promote his new show with his business partner. That's going to happen.
Yeah. You got a name for the podcast, or is it just? I know it's in the early works, but we want to get this word out. Ron Brown doing the.
He's
we
looking
wait,
at his
maybe.
business partner.
No, because we have several names, but Mindset of Champions is what we're going with.
Ooh.
Mindset of Champions.
I like it.
It's
Okay.
compelling.
Well,
All
I tell
right.
you what, I know it's going to be a success. You always put your hands on stuff and really make it a worthwhile venue.
Well, thank you.
We got a nice worthwhile venue as we wind down this show. Stacy, you want to set it up for us? And I'm more than happy to be honest.
Rod, here you go, man. No one escapes the gauntlet known as the 2-minute drill on the Gridiron Icon podcast. And this is rapid-fire questions designed for anybody listening or watching to get to know Ron Brown behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, yeah.
So
yeah.
you can't sign a waiver.
No one sent me those questions. That's what
No, you're not supposed to have these.
fine.
2-minute drill. You never. Hey, you think you know what they're going to do in the 2-minute drill, but
We're gonna stretch the field in 2 minutes, man. We're gonna
there you
Amen.
go. Stretch it out.
Amen. All right. So 2-minute drill with Mr. Denard. Are you going to put your teammate and friend through the gauntlet here?
I got to do it.
Yep.
Ron, it's either or. It's rapid fire. It's the first thing that come to mind. If you truly do need a couple of second thoughts on it, you're more than welcome to.
Okay, well, thank
We'll let you go there. You ready? It's not going to be too tough.
We're real
All
hard.
right. Okay. Side adjustment or straight out blitz? I'm only kidding. And did they even talk about side adjustments when you were playing? Did that go out the window? Oh, we had side adjustments because you had rules, unsaid rules. Okay. Stacy, we'll tell you about that.
If he's in front of you, he's going. You just turn.
Oh, you just turn and first guy inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your responsibility. Oh, love it. See,
Wow.
love it. Here's my claim to fame. Didn't make a Hall of Fame in NFL. Didn't make All Pro. But I never missed a blitz. That's my claim to fame, baby.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of quarterbacks that are very grateful.
A whole bunch of quarterbacks love you for that.
Love you for that, yeah. All right, here we go. The 2-minute drill. Grass or turf?
Turf.
Baldwin Park or Walnut Creek?
Oh, wow.
Ooh,
Baldwin Park.
I like it.
Yeah. Coach Zen was my guy, man.
Okay.
Yes.
Rams or Raiders?
Oh.
Commitment issues.
Oh, tough,
Well, you know-
tough.
Yeah, I know it, man. Dang.
You got to name one.
Today,
Today.
for me,
Yeah.
Raiders. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Interesting.
Mark Davis really looks after his players, man. We having trouble
Okay.
having that same relationship with the Rams, man, for former players, man.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
not good.
Mark Davis, I mean, he had all the guys. If you played a day with the Raiders, you're a Raider. Once a nation, always a nation, man. And he lives by that.
You know what? I've heard that, and I just
Wow.
heard it recently
Yeah,
by a former
man,
player.
Really appreciate it, man. All the guys get a chance to get together and go, and he'll every year they do it. Every year.
Okay.
And if you
That's
go to the
special.
Raiders Stadium, it looks like all the players played there. You know what I mean?
Wow.
You go to Rams Stadium, though, you might see Marshall Faulk. I don't even know if you see
Oh.
Eric Dickerson up there. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Different feel.
Different feel.
Different.
Okay.
Nailed it.
I say Raiders today. Yes, sir.
My buddy is over there cringing.
I am, because he's right, and it makes me. I hate that our older players are not honored in LA right now. It drives me nuts.
We talked about it too. I said you guys can't have a badge of honor for just the Hall of Famer Rams.
Yeah.
You know, just even when they changed the logo, Preston, that hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that cuts us off now.
Yeah.
It's hard for us to sign, or me personally, to sign for the new logo because I have no relationship to the new logo. Yeah. And I was asking the owner, I said, let us use the old logo and let us market the old logo. You know what I mean? Because Dickerson's record's going to always be there. And we got a Hall of Famer that helped LA be LA, man, when it was LA Rams. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, how come we can't keep branding that, though, for the guys that play with us?
Yeah. How come we can't put Rosie Greer in the Hall of Fame?
Listen.
God, that's don't take me there. Yeah,
I'm resisting going off on a tangent. I'm going to shut up because this is a big sore point with me, so I love it.
All right, here we go. Finishing a 2-minute drill. Your favorite movie?
Training Day.
Oh, okay. We've heard that before.
I'm a Denzel fan, though.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. Your most underrated teammate at any level?
Underrated teammate.
Yeah, at any level.
I don't know. All my guys are good, man.
Okay, there may not be a sleeper in there then.
Yeah, I can't think of that one. That one.
Okay. You know who Aaron said?
Who?
Glenn. My brother.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
And then he showed up.
I was like, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that would be. Oh, you said at any level, meaning college too.
Yeah. Anywhere, any level.
Yeah. No, Glenn.
Pop Warner.
That was a good choice.
Okay. Yeah. Your greatest.
That was my dude, huh?
Yeah. Your greatest football achievement.
Going to the Pro Bowl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something I didn't do. There you go.
Nice.
I don't know how to play slow, and not 100%, but it would have been nice to be there. All right. You ready? Drum roll, ladies and gentlemen. The last one on the 2-minute drill. The clock is ticking. Who plays Ron Brown in a movie about his life?
Cuba Gooding.
Oh, Cuba Gooding. Okay. I just knew he was coming back with Denzel.
So did I. I'm not going to lie to you.
I was waiting.
Who was the guy in the Eminem movie, Mackay? Ron? Yeah, you kind of. I could see a little resemblance there, maybe.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
I love it. Yeah, no Denzel. Denzel's winning in a landslide, by the way, Ron.
Yeah, he is.
Everybody picks Denzel, me included.
It's like fantasy football.
Yeah.
I don't play it because I don't trust none of them except me. I know what the hell I'm doing on second and long, third and short.
Right.
Ron, this has been wonderful. There's never enough time.
Look, third time's a charm, man.
Third time. I love it.
Before, and then, I messed up, but this time I got to the office and made sure I'm sitting still.
Yeah, baby, you did it up.
Greatly
I've been
appreciated.
sitting here at 9 o'clock this morning. Just
what?
Right.
Oh my! This has been an absolute pleasure. Rams fans everywhere are gonna love reconnecting with number 89, and I suppose some Raider fans too. Got to honor them. Got to honor them too. But hey, listen, Ron Brown, big thanks, certainly with your close friend Preston and from myself for joining us here on Gridiron Icon. Folks, check out Players Congress. Stay tuned for the new podcast coming in a few weeks. Check back on our social media. We're going to cross-promote his efforts. And really, let's get out and support our vets that made this game what it is today. So wherever you may be, if you're watching us on YouTube or on all the major podcast platforms, you know what they are. Thanks for listening in to Gridiron Icon. And in conclusion, a big thanks to the guy who put burn in Speed Kills. Ron Brown, thanks for joining us.
Love it.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you, Ron. Yes, sir.